grace, because grace is given freely. It doesn't have to be a legal act, and grace is given as a response to a legal act. That's not grace.
Right.
So anytime you have this juridicalism, you've abolished grace.
And this was even true in the Old Testament. When in the book of Hosea, it's not even just a new covenant reality. In Hosea, we hear God saying, "You've done these things. Here would be the appropriate condemnation for it." But before they even repent, he says, "I started remembering you as a child. I remember feeding you. I remember teaching you to walk. Oh, my heart is turned within me." And it's like God's heart turns towards them while they're still enemies, just like in Romans 5. And he says, "So I'm going to roll up my own sleeve, and I'm going to do something about this, and I will send you prophets to announce good news." And then at the end of all that, the point is that in some way they will respond, but God's mercy on them doesn't happen as a result of them repenting. Even it causes it.
But that's why Christ was trying to get people to understand the parable of the prodigal son.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
The father's forgiveness followed him the day he left,
Yeah.
not when he was seen coming back.
And justice for the father was receiving the son back into the family. And that's what the elder brother couldn't accept and couldn't understand. It's the elder brother that wants there to be some sort of payment. He wants the squandered inheritance to somehow be recovered and paid for and judiciously satisfied.
Yeah.
And the elder son can't understand that, so he alienates himself from the celebration. He won't come and join from the father. Because for the father, justice is not a recovery of the squandered inheritance. It is the restoration of fellowship with the son, which he offers out of his gracious being, out of simply having mercy on the son who has come back.
Pure unadulterated love. He
Out
was
of
standing
love.
every day looking down the road. Every day he was
Yet
standing.
no one had to pay the father wasn't, and the prodigal son wasn't looking for someone to pay him back what the younger son had squandered.
Right.
Justice was the restoration of fellowship, of family, of son with father.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. The elder son was the doctrine of atonement. The father was the doctrine of redemption.
I think you might be on to something.
So this is perhaps the problem, and I think I'm going to ask if you want to say each of you anything in summary before we bring this to a conclusion. Would you like to say something else, Brian?
Well, I would say that as one who grew up surrounded by understandings of penal substitution,